Council meeting to order, and could we get a certification of a quorum?
Mayor Jason Knight,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Randy Haskins,
Here.
Councilmember Ruth Camarillo Smith,
Here.
Councilmember Elise Chacon,
Here.
and Councilmember Luann Martin. She's absent today. Mayor, there is a quorum of the council present to conduct this meeting.
All right, thank you. Now could everyone rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance?
Father, we gather here today with grateful hearts for the blessings you have bestowed upon our community. We thank you for the freedoms we enjoy and for the opportunity to serve. We thank you for our city. Thank you for our elected officials, the businesses, the churches, the families, and the individuals that make our city the great place that it is. Help us to work together, respecting each other's perspectives and striving for solutions that benefit the common good. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, now we're going to go into announcements.
Yes, we have two announcements today. The first one is, this is our second concert series. Our first one was back in the spring. This is our summer concert. That's this Friday, July the 25th. Doors open at 5:30. And this is just a reminder that next Monday, July the 28th, we have a budget workshop meeting scheduled, and that'll be at 6 p.m.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, now we're going to go to board and commission appointments and Coastal Bend Foundation.
Yes, we do have one vacancy on the Coastal Bend Foundation, and that's due to the resignation of Jay Attaway. He has tendered his resignation from the board. His term is for a term expiring May 1st, 2026.
I move to make Susie Drumgold on the board of the Coastal Bend Foundation.
Okay, we've got a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion, a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. Okay, now we're going to go into citizens' comments. Okay.
None?
All right. Okay. Go.
That's a first.
Hit the bell.
Ain't nobody else?
Okay, I'm getting up here for the second time to talk about this issue here that I have with the Aransas Pass leaders at the Aransas Pass Housing Authority, and what's been going on over there since 2018 at least, and what I've known since 2020, 2021, with the handling of how the top person over there is handling the position over there. I'm coming up here again today because if nothing at this level can get done, the people up top told me that I need to make it exhausting for myself before they can do anything to help me. So I'm making the final attempt here to try to get something going on with that, because that man over there admitted that $1.2 million disappeared by forgery under his watch, and that he didn't know till it was too late. Now, and that's because they get monthly statements, they get these reviews, they get these canceled checks coming in. It's like anybody that has a business and knows what's going on in that business. If you're in charge of something, you're going to take care of that business. You're not going to let $1.2 million disappear under your watch. This guy did. Y'all were there. This is not hearsay. Y'all were there. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard many complaints from citizens. Y'all heard many complaints from tenants. Y'all heard many complaints from ex-employees, how they've been treated by this man over there. And I don't see how any investigation needs to be done or how hard it can be if you were there, because y'all heard it yourselves. Now, if you need to start, and it clearly states in the act of, let me see if I can find this before my time disappears, my time expires, that in section 392.041, the removal of a commissioner, he can be removed. It's just a process. It's nothing where the city has to spend any money, or the attorney general, the city attorney, the city manager. Nobody needs to be involved in that. It just needs to come together as a process, and then the process is clearly stated in this section right here, what needs to be done. because this guy is incompetent, and nobody in their right mind is going to say that anybody that admits to this much money disappearing under anybody's watch should be sitting in that seat today. And this happened several months ago, and people have been saying it for years, and it was never brought up before with me because nothing was ever said. It was just all hearsay, and this is not hearsay. Well, it's hearsay, but it came straight from the source, from the man that's needs to get out of there. He's incompetent of the position, and I think y'all know this. I mean, I'm 61, and y'all are older. Nobody's older except Randy, and I know he knows just as much or more that somebody that's responsible for that shouldn't be up there for that. So it's not hard to do.
All right, thank you, Andy. Okay, anybody else? Okay, now we'll go into staff reports and other discussion items.
Yeah, we have 2 staff reports that are submitted to council today, and that's the quarterly department reports and then the third quarter investment report, and they're submitted in written form.
Okay, all right. Okay, now we'll go into action items. And the first item, consider an act to approve the purchase of a 26-foot fluid patrol boat for the Aransas Pass Police Department in the amount of $213,867.00, funded by the Aransas Pass Crime Control and Prevention District Police Department.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We approached the, well, let me back up real quick. Since I've been with been serving the city since 2007 as a firefighter, EMT, and a peace officer. We have had a long need for emergency services on the water. As y'all know, most of our city is actually covered in water, and we have often lacked the availability to go out there. Back when I started with the police department in 2017, we obtained a patrol vessel. Unfortunately, it was a recreational vessel that was not made for the rigors of the job. Unfortunately, when we go out, it's typically not a nice day. It's when someone's having their worst day, and it's usually in rougher waters, and the recreational boats just are not capable of handling that. As well as we have lacked the availability of firefighting capabilities from the water. Any of y'all that have been with us, been around the city for a while can know that we've had plenty of fires either directly adjacent to a waterway or within a harbor, where we could have used a vessel with firefighting capabilities. Today I'm asking for y'all's approval to spend the money from the Crime Control District to purchase said vessel. I understand it's a large sum of money. They have agreed to pay for it completely. We would just be responsible for the upkeep. And those of y'all that know how I work, I try my hardest to make sure that we're not spending too much taxpayers' money. I know it's a big thing to go after, but I've been there firsthand and I've seen the need for it. I'm just asking for y'all's approval.
Jack,
Go ahead, Randy.
I'm sorry. Jack, I know that if you have a fire out on the water, a boat on fire out on the water, who do we have that's capable of going out there without this?
The Port of Corpus Christi, and their current response time at best is 30 minutes or more. Yes, we have Coast Guard Station Port Aransas, but they will not do land firefighting because they have the pumps, but they don't have any qualified people.
Okay, I'm talking about boats on the water on fire. It's still 30 minutes away before you get anything. How soon can you get out there?
In the past, I've had a response time of anywhere, even if I'm at home and getting called in from off duty, usually about 15 minutes to the point where I'm on station, either effecting a rescue or being on scene to do whatever.
What about other incidents on the water besides fire? Is this boat good for anything else?
Yes, sir. This is specifically made for rescue, diving, and law enforcement. As y'all know me, I'm mainly a rescue guy. Yes, we are responsible for law enforcement on the water, but most of my activity is rescue or fire and rescue services.
Okay, I haven't seen any DPS boats out here anymore. How come?
Well, everything's been shifted down to the border.
The border. That's what I thought.
So really and honestly, to get to the second largest port in the United States, you have to come through our city limits, which is through the Lydia Ann Channel down to the Corpus Christi. we would essentially, we are essentially the first call if something were to occur.
I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
What would happen with the boat that you're currently using?
So the plan is, so it's a money pit right now. My plan is, unless y'all have a different suggestion, is to auction it off, because I just can't see spending the amount of money we're spending on it and the amount of time it sits in the shop at Chris's Marine. It's spending too much taxpayer money. I mean, I think with the amount of money we spent repairing it, is probably twice over the years. Is probably twice what it's worth.
Okay, and what's the lifeline you think that this new one would be? I mean, it would apparently have how many engines on it?
The one that I'm asking y'all for approval for has 2 outboard engines. They're twin 150s. I mean, we got 7 years out of this current boat that we have that's sitting in the shop, and the outboard's not even the issue. So the outboard is good. The hull, which is the V portion, if you're not familiar with boats, is twice as thick as what you would normally find on a recreational vessel. So the instances like right now, our boat's taking on water and we can't figure out where it's coming from. This would hopefully, I'm not going to say it's going to be the end all be all, because
But structurally, if it stays sound and nothing's damaged, then we could always we could keep it for a long time.
Yes,
correct,
ma'am.
and then just upgrade motors when needed, or
that's what I've seen, and they're currently most of Florida Fish and Game and even Metro-Dade Fire Rescue out of Florida currently uses these vessels, and I think the longest one they've got in service is like 15 to 20 years, and they've only had one repower on it, and that's all that's had to happen to it.
And then how many other boats do we have?
We have one other boat, which I inherited from the old harbor master, Chuck West. We are not getting rid of that because it does have a purpose. I love it because it has very limited electronics on it, and we can get into the flats with it if there's an emergency out there.
Okay.
How many hours are on that police boat? Do you know offhand?
I can't remember offhand. I even went and looked, and I wrote it down, and of course, the piece of paper I wrote it down on blew out of my truck when I was out at the harbor earlier, and it was. Don't quote me, because I can always go back and look at it, but I wanted to say it was around 900 and something, but again, those are hard hours on it.
Oh, man.
This has firefighting capability also. You can put it on or take it off.
Yes, yeah. So that was one of the things that I specified in the design of this vessel, is because of the fact it's sitting on a lift uncovered. That's an expensive piece of equipment to just leave and sitting out in the sun. It does have the availability to be able to take it off. I want to say it weighs around 130 pounds, so even I'm not the strongest person in the world, but I can easily lift it and take it off. My plan is to have a industrial type wagon that we can get at Harbor Freight or Tractor Supply and be able to wheel it up and down our docks as we see fit. And that way it's stored and somewhat out of the elements.
You're going to leave this thing outside?
Yes, sir. So that way we can continue our fast response time. It would need to sit on the lift and be able to respond 24/7. Unfortunately, I can't be at the office 24/7, but I respond from home most of the time.
That's what I was going to ask. Not really regarding the boat, but who else is trained for rescue besides you? Will be trained to use the boat in a case of an emergency? Maybe you're sick or out of
Currently,
town.
ma'am, I am the only trained person for water rescue.
Okay.
However, my plan is, and I spoke with Chief Perkins last week about the finalization of our job description for having part-time people to be able to respond in. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be about a year-long process to getting someone trained up to where they can do it by themselves. But there are capable people in the area that can still assist. Our constable here, Cody Farenthold, I work very closely with him, and he has some of the same certifications I do. So in the event that I was out, he would still be able to respond in and assist whoever.
Okay.
He can operate this boat?
Yes, sir. Yeah, and he's also a commissioned firefighter EMT as well. So.
Well, as far as where I stand, you know me a while. I know we got this boat, and that $213,000. I know the police chief's coming budget time with some other items that this could be spent on. if we got the current boat that we have repaired. But that's just my opinion.
On the
it.
hierarchy of needs, where's the boat compared to the other items that were on the budget? As I know there was the tasers and all of that.
Yes, ma'am, the tasers are definitely gonna be the priority. The boat, I know the price tag is very, very high. But with the boat that we have now, with the leakage that they can't identify where it's coming from, if we wanna continue to have response time on the water, it's definitely a need at some point. If we don't wanna, if y'all don't wanna do it now, I totally understand, and we can try it again next budget. But if y'all do believe that we need, to take priority and going out in the water and be able to rescue people if need be.
It's a hard call, because if
It's
you
a
need it,
pretty
you
high
need it.
priority.
You don't know till you need it. So if there's a rescue out in the water and our boat's in the shop, it's gonna be like,
You know, 213,000 just sitting there, I get it, I understand. So, I think that it's needed, but I'm not gonna say that it is, you know, we are dying for it. We can still use the other one that we have. I prefer to have one that's a law enforcement, related and rescue boat.
do you recall the price of the tasers? And
Off the top of my head, total price, 5-year contract, 147,000. If we do it year to year, it's 29 and some change.
Are y'all just doing rescues in the boat, or are you also patrolling?
We do patrol. I patrol when I can, and with my position, there's more administrative tasks to
Kinda leave it
make
to the
sure
Parks and
everything's functioning in the harbor as it should.
Parks and Wildlife?
I unfortunately don't get to get out on the boat as much as I would like to, but I also have a job to do that mainly, unfortunately, is on land and within the harbor. But I mean, it's one of those things. I'm bringing it to you because this is something I feel that we need. Ultimately, you're responsible to your constituency, so I understand either way.
Is there a concern that the boat y'all are using now, since you don't know where it's leaking, that y'all could sink?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
that's a concern.
And I will tell you,
mean-
I will tell you this, and again, Jason again, or Mr. Mayor, we go back a long way, so I completely understand the concern, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you like, yes, we 100% need this, you know, like, or people are going to die
Today.
tomorrow. As I've said before, with us using the boats, I consider myself a pretty skilled captain. But the reason we haven't capsized in the boats that we're using, doing the rescues we do, is about 90% craziness and about 10% skill. It is.
Jack, is there some way, this is a $213,000 boat. It's gonna sit out there where anybody can get hold of it and damage that boat.
Yes, sir.
Is there any way of putting it somewhere else where it's in but can get out quick?
So I have visited that option, and I've spoken with Mike Bone, the manager at Redfish Bay Marina, many times. He's available a lot. However, typically whenever I have to call them to come and fuel us, like if we're out on an extended dive or something of the sort, it takes about 30 minutes. And again, it's feasible. However, it's gonna lengthen our response time if we were to have it up there. What I would prefer to do, but again, I have trouble coming up here and asking y'all for money because this is taxpayer money. It's my money. It's everybody here's money. What I would like to do at some point when we're able to is have my docks covered again when we're able to. But
And do you have gates?
Cameras?
You don't have gates going?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So if you ever drive by my office, it's right there next to the Redfish Bay Marina. We do have gates up there. It's a lock gate.
Okay.
And it's key coded.
So nobody can just walk up and,
Yes, ma'am. Plus, I have a camera that is actually monitored by dispatch that sits and views the docks
Okay.
24/7.
But it can still be accessed.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it does. Unfortunately, it does not prohibit people from coming from the water side. So there is a security issue.
have you gotten pricing for covering ever?
I did a while back, ma'am, when the docks were built. And I'd be lying to you if I told you a number right now. I can't remember.
That was a couple of years ago.
Yes,
Doesn't
ma'am.
matter. Okay.
I'm just gonna throw this out there, Jack, and I don't know if it's feasible or if anything, if we decide to do this, my concern is the amount of money for the boat being left out there. Is there some way that it can be put somewhere else, like here at the police department or anywhere close to the water? I don't know where you live, or you take it home and store it.
So I've tossed around that idea in my head before about taking it home. I just, again, I am all about transparency, and I don't think the optics of that would look good. Me transporting a boat home, it'd be kind of like, to me, in my head, it would be kind of the same thing as me rolling around in the harbor with fishing poles hanging off the side of the police boat.
What's wrong with that?
Well, then your response time
I feel
is
like
gonna
that
be
response
high.
time,
But-
Yeah.
then there would be no point in having
So
it. We'd leave
before
it.
we had the harbor office, we kept our boat that's currently in the shop and has been for the last 3 months behind the police department. Our response time at best was about 20 to 25 minutes, just because of the fact it takes forever to come here, get the boat hooked up to the trailer, go down, go around to the harbor. Hopefully there's a way. Hopefully there's an opening where you can launch in, and then go from there. But again, we'd still run into the same issue of it being stored out here. There's just no place to store it under.
Jack, I'm sitting here at 95% wanting to put a motion in to do this. The other 5% is I'm worried about that boat sitting out there because I know what can happen. I've seen it.
Well,
That's
Councilmember
the only thing that
Haskins,
scares me.
me and you were in the same boat, sir. No
pun intended.
No pun intended. I would like to sit here and tell you that I have the answer for everything. I'm sorry, I don't. I'm just, you're not voicing any concerns that I hadn't already thought of in my own head. It's just, again, I know we have so many needs in this city, and there's only so many things I can ask y'all for out of my own morals. This is just,
The thing about it is this is not coming out of our money. It's coming out of Crime Control Board money.
it's still our taxpayers' money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
but it's not coming out of the city's funds.
Yes, sir.
It's coming out of taxes that are paid to
I
them.
think at this point, I mean, we're kind of at a crossroad. If we don't get it, there's no point that we built the dock and all that, which at the time, I'll be honest, I wasn't in support of. I thought it was a lot of money. I didn't think we needed to do it. But now that we're where we are, it's either we have a decision to either have a rescue team that can have good response times, or we let it go away. I mean, there's no point in having a boat that he's gonna sink in and needs to call the port to rescue him.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
ma'am.
just
You
a
know what I
way-
mean? We just gotta either go in or,
Well, it's a
I don't
kind
know
of
what
a
our.
double-edged
options
sword, because, yeah, it comes out of Crime Patrol Board, but
Mhm.
at the same time, that money can be used to buy patrol cars,
I agree.
tasers, anything for the police department. I mean, it's,
No, I agree. It's just what do we wanna spend it on? I mean, do
Yeah.
we want this to continue or not?
The
I think-
bay, is there a way of putting that boat in the bay?
Did somebody say chief? Oh, sorry. There is, again, we're just at the same thing. Again, I don't want to be relied upon, and even 15 minutes is a long time for someone to be in the water feeling like they're going to drown. I don't want to be a wasted call when somebody else could be called. So again, I'm not sitting here giving an ultimatum, but it's just, even 5 minutes, that's a long time. That's somebody's loved one out there. That's our neighbors out there. So it could be stored in there. However, we're going to still be at the same crossroads of it's still going to take time to get up there, hook it up, get it going, get it into the water, and yeah. So
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion that we do accept this and see where it goes.
okay, we got a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion, a second, any further discussion?
I just had one more question for you.
yes, ma'am.
It does have a T-top or some sort of on it, didn't it? I
Yes,
thought in the
yes,
pictures.
ma'am.
So
If
that
you-
will help give shade to the electronics and stuff.
I can't remember. Okay, so if you look on the second PDF that was given to you, the quote for the Marine Patrol PDF. If you
Yes.
scroll down about, I think it's your 5th page. So if you see that, it's an industrial
Yeah.
T-top, and again, it gives us more capabilities.
a nice
So now
one.
I can actually have a spot.
I mean, I think that will help at least
Yeah.
That's it.
somewhat with,
So my other thought too is, and I was going to pursue this. pending whether or not the boat got approved. What I would like to do is start talking to someone like Canvas USA or something to get a cover over it, because I do agree, like, that's a lot of money to be sitting out in the elements.
Agree.
So if
Well, we are wanting to grow that harbor,
our
and
current
I
boat
agree.
is our
And if
current
we
boat
put-
sits on a
If
lift
there's
outside
development
of
on
the
it, we
harbor
need someone who
office.
can fight it from the water side. And I think that
I
so much
think so
money's already been
too.
invested, then we're just throwing away the past.
I agree, sir.
Of,
I mean, that's what I would do. I'd put a canopy over it.
yeah, that's what we were just,
Put a metal building canopy over it. It costs 20,000 is high. You probably get done for about 8 or 9.
Yeah.
we have to get quotes.
Yeah, motion second.
All right.
And if you want to work
Yeah.
on that for the future or some point, but I don't know where we're at budget-wise for that now. But
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think some type of, getting a budget for some kind of cover would be great.
No, absolutely. I can definitely work on that and get
I
something to
agree.
y'all.
I'm for it as
All
well.
right. Y'all good? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank y'all so much.
Jack, take care of that boat.
Yeah, it's your baby
It's a
now.
lot of money.
I promise y'all, I will do everything in my power to
That's
make
your
sure that
baby.
thing is taken care of and responds to every call
That's your
we get.
Lambo.
Thank you, Jack.
Put that in my hand.
Okay, next, consider an act on resolution of the City of Aransas Pass opposing the enactment and enforcement of red flag laws that infringe upon the constitutional rights of citizens. Councilmember Chacon.
Yes.
Mayor,
Go
do you want me
ahead.
to
Go ahead.
handle it?
No, go ahead.
Okay. What this is, Mayor, it's a resolution that opposes the enactment and enforcement of what's called red flag laws. And you might be wondering, well, what are they? What are these red flag laws? These are laws that some states are passing that infringe on citizens' rights to keep and bear arms, which are rights that are given to us under the Second Amendment and the Texas Constitution. There are some states that have been radical and have been slowly picking away at citizens' rights, removing, I guess, arms from citizens without due process. And I know our Senate here, just recently under Senate Bill 1362, here in Texas, had passed a what's called an Anti-Red Flag Act.
That's what I was about to ask you. I thought that happened.
So they passed that saying, you know what, Texas doesn't recognize these red flag laws. We don't approve of them, we oppose of them. And by what we're doing by approving this resolution, we're also affirming and supporting Senate Bill 362, opposing the infringement of our rights.
I was asked by a person in the audience a little while ago what the red flag law was. Do you have an exact description of it?
What was that?
Do you have an
Definition,
exact description of it?
like the
Of
definition.
Red flag law?
Mhm.
Let's see. Here's it more.
I mean, I know what it is.
What are red flag laws? It says red flag laws allow for the temporary removal of firearms from individuals deemed a danger to themselves or others. That's pretty much what we're dealing with, where the government has come in, they make that decision whether you should be keeping arms or not, and they restrict your ability to do that, to purchase or keep these arms. But Texas does not approve of that. We don't have that. Okay.
And that is contingent on that person's thoughts about another person. It's like I explained to the lady that asked me what it was, is anybody can come in and say that they can take my guns away from me because I'm crazy, because I'm on the city council. I mean, it's that stupid. Somebody could have an incident where, and this came about, I believe, from the deal at his place,
Yes, correct.
where the guy's gun was removed from him just because his wife left him and he went a little overboard. But, you know, crap like that happens. Doesn't mean a person is dangerous or a danger to themselves or others. It's just they go through a bad time. But I believe this came out of California that started this thing, and the whole,
It's my understanding that's where
pretty
it came
much
from.
started all of this, and it's migrated because of California moving east instead of staying west. But it's, correct me if I'm not wrong, Chief, but it's contingent on how that person thinks about another person. It doesn't have anything to do with the law.
Right.
Well, we have a motion?
Yes, I make a motion on the resolution of the City of Aransas Pass opposing the enactment and enforcement of red flag laws that infringe upon the constitutional rights of citizens.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, next, going to go into a resolution of the City Council of the City of Aransas Pass, Texas, accepting for filing a landowner petition requesting the creation of the Aransas Oaks Public Improvement District, finding the petition to be a creation of the Public Improvement District, authorizing and directing that notice of the public hearing be given as required by law, providing for an immediate effective date, and resolving other matters in connection therewith. City Manager.
Yes. So the landowner has submitted the petition, which is to request the creation of the Aransas Oaks Public Improvement District. This is the first step in that process. Today, we're not creating the PID. What this agenda item does, it does a couple of things. The first, it simply accepts the landowner's petition for filing to create the PID. And the other part to that is that it's setting the public hearing for August the 18th, and is directing staff to publish notice of that hearing. And at that public hearing, we will discuss, the creation of the PID, receive comments from the audience. And at the closing of that public hearing on August the 18th, the council will consider a resolution to create the district and also approve a development agreement. I know that Mr. Brazelton is here in the audience in the event that you have any questions. But that's all we're doing today, is just accepting the petition for filing.
I make a motion to consider, sorry,
Yeah.
you had questions?
Well,
No.
we'll let Elise read it because she's got the wording. We got to have certain wording on
Okay,
it.
got you.
Okay, I move that the City Council approve a resolution accepting for filing a landowner petition requesting the creation of the Aransas Oaks Public Improvement District, finding the petition to be compliant with applicable laws, calling a public hearing to consider the creation of the Public Improvement District, authorizing and directing that notice of the public hearing be given as required by law.
Okay, we got a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. May consider and act on approving an architectural engineering services agreement with Chesney Morales Partners for design services for the police and fire station renovations in the amount of $500,193.00.
So on June the 2nd, the council awarded the RFQ for architectural and engineering services to Chesney Morales, and that was for the design of the police and the fire station remodel. About a week later, Chesney Morales did an on-site visit, and we met at the police and the fire station. We had all the players there, and that was Mr. Perkins, Mr. Newhar, the municipal court judge, David Flores. And during the visit, we did a walkthrough of the facility, and I can tell you that the engineering services project, the contract is $500,193. The project will be funded through the issuance of that bond ordinance that was approved back in 2024. And I know that the Chesney Morales has Mr. Jason Walters here in the event that you have any questions in regards to that contract.
Huh.
Ask him anything?
I know about it.
Good evening.
And I guess we pretty much have a rough guesstimate of what the price would be on this, correct?
Yes, sir. There was an estimate construction cost. Let's see. I believe it was. Let's see. Let me bring it
It's
up.
roughly about $4.5 million.
Yes.
Is this, and it was just basically a preliminary estimate based on kind of the sketch that we
Yeah.
came up with when we did the walk.
I know you can't answer it 100%, but how close to solid are you on that $4.5 million?
I mean, it's kind of based on what we talked about here.
Yep.
Things change. It could also affect with phasing. Kind of a lot of that fee is, some of it's phasing with having to remodel interior and work around the municipal court back here. Things like that. But, I mean, without really getting into the nitty-gritty of it, it would
Yeah.
it's kind of just a ballpark
Gotcha.
figure.
Okay.
And we can also, I mean, if there's a budget in mind, we can also work towards that and at least trying to get to where you need to be as well, too, so.
$4,575,750.
But, maybe we'll get a, like
That's
a
it.
five-way win.
Mr. Walters, what is the time frame for the design?
The design, we estimated about 37 weeks, which we may be able to cut some time out of that. We had 2 weeks of owner review, kind of to look at it, and we can get faster, or we may be able to crunch some time out of the design development too, to kind of maybe do like 30 weeks, roughly 7 months, 6, 7 months.
Is it feasible, Mary, to put a maximum cap on this?
Like with work orders?
Well,
Or what?
kind of budget,
Kind of a
basically.
budget type deal, yeah.
No, that would be difficult to do. I mean, you mean to put a cap on the construction cost? We really can't, I mean, we don't have the design yet.
Yeah.
So-
When will we have that?
So the design is $500,000?
The design, no, it's,
What's
this
the
design you're seeing,
500,000?
it's
Mark,
400.
hey, Mark, come up here, Mark, so they can get you on
So
record.
what's the
The
400,000?
500,000 is for our design services, which includes our engineers, our structural MEP, and then a lot of that is from civil, because they need to come out here and do a survey of the whole property. And it's the whole property, not just around the building. And then we
And how
also,
many square feet are you renovating?
we have about 7,200 square feet of addition, so it's kind of a small addition, which also brings the price up. We also have phasing, so the green, blue, orange is all different phases, so that's also kind of,
So then the total project's gonna be about 5 million, so you're charging 10% for design.
well, if you don't include the MEP, I mean, civil, all the.
Is
the
it sprinkled?
services. Huh?
Is that including sprinkled?
Yeah, there's gonna be sprinkled, just like the building over there.
That seems
Our
kind, that
fee's about-
seems
our-
kinda high.
Our fee's about 8%. That's not including landscape, civil, IT, security. Those typically aren't included in our fee. So those are in addition.
So have you given any kind of proposal, and, I mean, this is all guesstimates, right?
On the 4.5, yeah.
I knew I didn't know on that.
Just seems, I mean,
This is kind of what we were asked to do. If we need to look at doing our proposal based on a percentage fee, we can definitely provide that. And then if the construction cost comes in less, then that gets worked out.
Yeah, because that's kind
when
of.
you're charging a fee of $500,000 seems kinda high, just to give an estimate for design purposes. You should come in and charge $300 an hour or something like that. It'd be a lot cheaper, just to give an estimate so these people have something to look at.
I mean, we can definitely do a schematic design proposal where
I mean, that's what I wouldn't commit to $500,000.
where we come in and we kind of just do a schematic design so we can get you a price, and then from there, we can give you a full proposal. But there's a lot of unknowns, and so that's kind of where this is coming from as well.
Yeah, because that's how I feel. We want to get the best bang for our buck on this.
What is the unknowns you're talking about?
Well, we still got to come out and field verify the whole building.
I thought that was already done.
Huh? We have not field verified anything. We just came out and did a walkthrough and wrote down all the needs and wants. We still have a programming to do. We still have to come out, do survey of the existing facility, measurements.
Okay.
Bless you.
We'll wait till we see what that is. I guess we'll wait till we see what that is.
What's the difference in price with the schematic that you talked about? What's the price for that?
I would have to go back and kind of look at that, but it'd probably be about 20% of our architectural fee, which was $293.
Save a little bit of money.
So it'd be 20% of the 293 that you originally quoted?
Yes, sir.
So And 329.
What is,
But
let me
I
ask
will
you,
hire
what is,
Anthony. I'm
what
sorry.
is the difference between doing a schematic and going with the engineering services contract?
Well, so we would only go up to schematic design phase.
And then what would
So
happen
we'll
after
come
that?
out, do the pre-design programming, and then we would also, and then we come up from there, we develop kind of like some rendering, some sketches, conceptual plans, and then we'd be able to narrow down the budget better. And then from, at that point, I could give you a different fee for actually doing construction documents.
Would that still be, would we still doing the schematic, would we still be entering into a construction engineering agreement?
Not construction.
No, this would just be engineering.
Engineering.
Because our proposal would stop at schematic, and then, I mean, you could go somewhere else if you wanted to at the time, or we enter another contract. That's the only downside to that part.
We would still have to come back for an engineering
Yeah.
contract, yeah.
So you're either paying for it now or
Yes.
later, basically.
Pretty much.
Mhm.
Let's move forward with what we got.
Okay.
Deal, guys.
Make a
Alright.
motion that we move forward.
Okay, go ahead and make it, Randy.
Where is it here?
Okay,
You want me to read it?
okay, 4.
8-4. No, it's at the bottom.
I was looking at it on my other deal. Go ahead and do it.
Okay.
I don't even have it here.
I make a motion to consider and act on approving an architectural engineering services agreement with Chesney Morales Partners Incorporated for design services for the police and fire station renovations in the amount of $500,193.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, now, moving into consider, wait, I think are we going through with this item, or we?
On this item, Judge, Mayor, no, Judge, I've been in court all day long.
Judge.
I'm gonna call you Judge.
That's too much clout.
I've been in court all day long. I'm gonna ask that if we could postpone this maybe for the August 4th meeting. I've been meeting with Mr. Furlow here, he's president, I was gonna say president of the courtroom, but he's present here.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yeah. And there's some discussion on some, I guess, language in the ordinance, some revisions. And I think it's important that one, we get it right so that we can set out the ordinance and bring in that ordinance for your all's consideration on the 4th.
I agree. I agree.
I have one point of
Okay,
clarification. on
yeah, you
what-
can go ahead and come up here.
Please, the council, Mayor, I appreciate the opportunity to be here. So we read the ordinance fine with everything in there. When I got the draft, there were a couple of mistakes in it, and I had one item of input that the whole reason we're here is because of this definition of commencement of construction. So what I was suggesting is that we clean up the mistakes, because one of them said commencement of construction starts today, which I don't think y'all are trying to do that. It's fine with me, but we need to fix that. And then we need to, in my opinion, what's the event, right? What if you do this, you've started construction, so we don't have any more gray areas. I had made a suggestion that the first thing that we have to do is renew our TxDOT permit, make the TxDOT entryway, and there's some drainage issues there that were part and parcel of that. The key to that, if we make that the commencement of construction, the problem we get into is a catch-22, because we have to have funding from a lender to do any of the, major items. This is something that is an absolute definite improvement, has benefit to the community because it affects the surrounding area. And if push came to shove, it's gonna be probably $100,000, maybe $2, something we could probably just pay for ourselves, get that in place, go to the lender and say, we've met, we have commenced construction, the zoning is not going to change, give us the $6 million that we need to do this, and that would allow us to proceed through this in a way that makes sense. And it is hard construction on the ground. So that's what I suggested. What I would like to do is get y'all's feedback on that, and try to come up with something that you're comfortable with as commencement of construction that meets those criteria. And that way, when we submit it on the 4th, it's basically what you had with that addition. Because I think it was approved, but I looked at it and I think that, unfortunately, it did need there was a couple issues with it. But I think this would be a good addition. So my question to the council is that an acceptable definition of commencing construction, doing the TxDOT work, getting the TxDOT permit back, doing the entryway, there's a whole scope that included some drainage and some items that at Guile and 35 or commercial that were pretty important. And, that's physical, actual construction, and we're going in that much deeper. And at that point, we would have our zoning, so we could definitely get our funding and we could get this thing done. Incidentally, we have brought in a new contractor. The fire was lit, and we've responded to that, and we've got a design build contractor, local person, and we're very comfortable about getting this thing started. We just have to be able to get the money, and we have to have the zoning to do that.
So as you can see, I mean, what the issue is that we're trying to refine here. So we're going to come up with some language, and then I'll put in this ordinance, and y'all can consider that, and you'll have it way before the August 4th meeting. That way you can consider that when we put this back on the agenda.
That'll be best, y'all two get together and get all that straightened out.
I actually do have a question, though.
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
you wanting to do a manufactured home park or an RV park?
No, it's RV. It's RV.
Okay, so there's no issue with us changing the verbiage of that for the zoning to be RV? Because I think from when you first started it, they used to be combined. And now we have two separate ones, and
I think we went through that at the time because there was no RV.
Right, they were
There was
combined.
no way to do that, so they called it mobile home, but now that has changed.
so I want to
and
make sure that we're putting one or the other, not both.
It's RV.
Okay.
It's
Is it-
RV.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay.
My issue is you're coming to us saying that you still don't have funding for this?
Well, we have to get a actual loan.
Approval.
And to do that, we can't do that with the zoning in flux. So we have a lender, but until we can't close on a loan until we know that they know that the zoning is not going to be changed. And the way it was structured was start construction, then you're in the clear. We got a letter that said we were in the clear, but now we're told we're not. So I'm coming back to say, if we put this line in the sand where you say, do this work, and you're in the clear, we go to the bank, get the loan, we can close on the loan and do everything else that costs that money.
What are you gonna do with that for sale sign on the property?
I'm glad to take it down along with my Harvey sign.
Yeah, that's.
But, I mean, part of this was, we did have conveyances, and I think we worked our way around that. So, but the 3 years, all that's fine. We know now we can make that. We're ready to go, but it's not a cash deal. So we have to be able to get the funding to
Said
do.
that last time, he needed the verbiage to get the loan.
Yeah, they're gonna have to
they
have
need
the,
They need to have the right
no
verbiage.
one's gonna give a loan without them having the zoning.
And so if
be able to present a plan and all that.
If it's something that we can pay for out of pocket, then we know we can get there, right? So
Right.
that we're not in a catch-22. You can't get the loan without the work. So we can just put up the money for that. And anyway, that's something that I see, because that is basically the very first thing we would have to do is get that basically site work done that goes through TxDOT.
So what you're agreeing to is like, once the zoning and all that's done, then that starts the 3 years?
I think it starts the day you sign this, the
Okay.
day it's enacted, which would have been today. So for example, say you agree to that.
Then we got-
it-
you
it
got
would
3
start
years
today.
to
We
get
have 3
everything done,
years to
regardless
get
of-
to that point, but that point is do this particular work that was in the TxDOT permit, and then I'm in another 200K, and we're okay to go get the funding. So that's a commitment that we're trying to offer.
Okay. Y'all still want to table till August?
Yeah.
I think so too.
We'll keep it on for the August 4th meeting.
We're
and
scheduled at the
then
August 4th.
If I can't,
A motion to postpone.
Okay. I make a motion to postpone until August 14th. Do you need me to read all of it, or?
Fourth.
No.
Or 4th?
Yeah.
Sorry. August 4th?
Okay, we got a motion, we have a second.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. May I be excused?
And Tom,
Yeah.
I've got your number, and you got mine as well, so we'll talk tomorrow a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, now moving into consider an act on approving an engineering services agreement with Lynn Engineering for a pavilion at Shrimpery Grounds in the amount of $75,285.00 with funding provided by the Aransas Pass Municipal Development District.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is an idea that we have worked on for quite some time. And so we're finally at the stage where we are ready to bring some drawings to you guys and ask for your support in moving forward in the next step with our engineer service. So tonight what we're requesting is approval to enter into this engineering agreement with Lynn Engineer for $75,285. That provides us with the designs for this structure that you see before you. And then as the second portion of this item states, this would be actually utilizing funding approved through the municipal, the MDD board.
Kaylin, does this pavilion have basketball court? Does it have for basketball?
Currently, what we've discussed is including those types of amenities in this, yes.
Okay.
Do you have the size of it? I know I saw it somewhere, but I can't. I'm not
It's going to
finding
be
it.
about 100 by 180 feet.
Okay.
It'll be a big one.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's where it really gives us an opportunity to have a multi-purpose recreation facility. And if you see on the lower portion of the screen, there's some nets there. The vision for that was to facilitate pickleball, something that's totally popular right now.
Yeah.
You see
I
there's
hope
lighting
Ruben
in here.
Zuniga's watching.
Okay. Well, we have a motion?
I make a motion to consider and act on approving an engineering services agreement with Lynn Engineering for a pavilion at Shrimpery Grounds in the amount of $75,285.00 with funding provided by the Aransas Pass Municipal Development District.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank
Okay,
you.
moving into consider and act on issuing a RFP for shade structures at Newberry Park, Veterans Memorial Park, and Community Park with funding provided by the Aransas Pass Municipal Development District.
They've been generous.
Right.
So this item, as it states, is a request for your approval to move forward to acquire and install shade structures at our local playgrounds. And so the way that we have them listed here does place a little preference on priority based on usage, volume, and certainly feedback from the community. We know Newberry, the community has asked for this for a long time, and we're very excited to have the partnership with MDD board, and so this allows us to move forward with a request for proposals and get the project started.
Okay.
Do we have an idea of what that's going to look like? Like, is it just going to be a structure over just the playground?
It would be
area?
over the playground elements, so it wouldn't be
Okay.
like an entire structure over the full park, and that would be because of
There's a lot of
cost for-
trees.
Yeah, there's a lot of trees, but we're thinking kind of like those canopy, the what is it, like canvas type canopies for wind, of course. Yes.
Yeah.
Sunshades. Usually triangular or rectangular,
Yeah.
but that's part of the thing we would do with this is we'd be looking for a company that could help us with the design, the engineering, the installation that would best fit each park.
I make a motion to approve on issuing a request for proposals for shade structures at Newberry Park, Veterans Memorial Park, and Community Park with funding provided by the Aransas Pass Municipal Development District.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, now consider an act on approving the purchase of hot mix for Wilson Avenue from Anderson, Columbia in amount of $106 per ton for a total of $63,000.00.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Councilmember Chacon, welcome. So this is for the hot mix from Wilson, from the railroad to over the Huff, to
Yeah.
Huff over the hill that you asked about. So the bid went out for a unit price. So we're estimating about 600 tons. Of course, we're trying to aim for 550, but depending on that crown, it might be a little bit more. But nevertheless, we are going to try and target to stay within the 63,000. If it does get approved tonight, then we will pave tomorrow. We have everything lined up. We have everything coordinated. It's easier to cancel last minute than try to coordinate the last minute. So we went and got everything ready with the plants, the trucking, assuming we get approval tonight. If we don't, no hard feelings. We could just pick up the phone and cancel.
I thought you were already gonna do it.
Yeah,
No,
well, I
they
need
got
you
the
guys
road-
to
They got the
approve
road
it.
blocked off. I was excited earlier to get down there. No, I guess, if you got some left over, Pacific's a little hammered, you could
Okay.
always dump it down
Yeah, I
there.
know, yeah. It is a bad
Okay.
street.
All right, well, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion on approving the purchase of the hot mix for Wilson Avenue from Anderson, Columbia in the amount of 106 per ton for a total of 63,000.
Okay, we have a motion, we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we got a motion,
Third.
motion, a second, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Mm.
Thanks, David.
Good deal.
Get her done.
Yeah. Yeah, now I don't have to cancel. I already had the message ready to send.
Okay, consider an act on approving change order number 1 to the contract with Derrick Construction Company for the Lighthouse Lakes Kayak Ramp Project in the amount of $26,814.88 with funding provided by the Aransas Pass Municipal Development District.
Yeah, so the hiccup we ran into was that this kayak ramp was designed with a 3.5-foot concrete footing in the water side. Of course, when they dig down, they cannot keep that trench open because it collapses within seconds. So the engineers redesigned it to do sheet metal instead, sheet pilings, I'm sorry. So that's what that change order was for. We did approach the MDD board. They gave the blessing to go and cover that cost, but at the end of the day, it is a city project, so you would have to last say so we should move forward or not.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Make a motion, we consider an act on approving the change order number 1 to the contract with Derrick Construction Company Lighthouse Lakes Kayak Ramp Project for the amount of $26,814.88 with funding provided by the Aransas Pass Municipal District.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Okay, now we're gonna go into an executive session, and first item to be discussed, I think the first item, we're gonna scratch that one, correct?
Yes, the first item, stat care, urgent care, is being postponed to another council meeting date.
Okay, all right. And second item, potential Brown Harbor lease, Mark Lunsky. Third item, potential Brown Harbor lease, Kisner Solutions LLC. And we also have an item on Sherwood Forest annexation. And final item, Jason Falwell versus City of Aransas Pass, civil action number 224-CV-00055, Southern District of Texas, Corpus Christi Division, and it is 6:58 p.m.
We'll be back about midnight, y'all.
No.